Hello, Internet. James Allen from Out of 8, and today I'm playing turn-based fantasy 4X strategy game Sorcerer King Rivals. This is a standalone expansion to last year's game Sorcerer King. It's half price if you own the original, so that's something. Start a new game here. First thing you do is pick which person you are. A couple new features in this expansion is that you can play as the dwarves or the undead. Both of them are pretty interesting. The undead can spawn units off of bone fragments you get from victorious battles, so it behooves you to get in a lot of skirmishes, whereas the dwarves kind of put snow and ice in their region. So I'm actually going to do the undead here. You can also customize it with different attributes and stuff. I'll just choose the default there. You can also pick a specific map or randomly generate, which is what I always do, and then choose your size, the difficulty, how many magical shards there are, and how quick the game is. I'm just going to keep everything on kind of the normal settings. Then you can pick your opponents. They're not really opponents. You can recruit them to team up against the Sorcerer King if you want. I'm just going to keep it on 2, which will be fine, and then we'll do that on normal as well. First thing I'm going to do is get more army units. We'll do skeletons. Here we go. Okay. So, the main difference between this and the original version of the game is the victory condition. Before, you had to defeat the Sorcerer King before time ran out. Basically, there was a timer that was affected by in-game events. Here, you have to have more energy control. As opposed to the Sorcerer King's percentage by the time the ascension points run out. It's basically the same thing as a time thing. Really, it's kind of a superficial change because all you have to do in order to get more points is you just simply cast this spell over and over again. And it just costs more mana each time you do it. So basically, the strategy of the game is just hoard mana and then save it for this spell and then try to cast it before the Sorcerer King wins the game. And that's basically it. So it's really a superficial change. It really only changes basically how you use magic in the game. It really kind of discourages magic players in the game because you're using all the mana for spells during combat or spells on the cloth map instead of saving it up and using it for the Orb of Power. So that's why I try to tend to stay more towards melee or ranged units in the game. So the rest of the game is basically the same. The other couple new features are you can edit the quests and share them on Steamworks, which is fine. But the rest of it's the same. You have your random maps. You go around and explore. You can found new villages. You can do little quests at these different villages and inns. There's lots of creeps hanging around, most of which are disturbingly powerful, and it can be very difficult to take them out, especially in the beginning of the game. Is really, and this was the case in the original game, there's really kind of a problem with too many creeps that are on even footing with you early on in the game. It's the same game balance issue that there was before, which makes the game difficult. Otherwise it'd be kind of easy to just basically expand wherever you want to. So, let's start our gameplay for a little bit. Basically what I want to do is capture as many shards as possible because you need the magic to get the spells you need to win the game. So any chance I get to get a shard, I will certainly do that. And there's another one here, so I'll probably build an outpost down here and up there. So I'm going to go around and try to get as many of these magic chests as I can so that I can craft armor and weapons for my troops. So that's basically what I'm going to do. Let's go to this village next turn. Research spells. Gives you a semi-random selection of 8 spells you can choose from. I'll choose this one. Doesn't really matter. You also do production in your cities. You can train units up to your logistical cap. The logistics cap is not only for your units, but it's also for things that are placed directly on the game map. So not buildings in your city, but putting down this shard uses a logistics point Putting outposts uses a logistics point, stuff like that. So you really kind of have to budget where you use the logistic points there. And then you can basically counteract that by building specific structures. So I'm going to do a lookout. I'll train that. I'll actually probably summon it. Use some magic to instant build. You know, same thing as buying it with gold and civilization. And then I usually do a garden and then a barracks back to back. And then I'm going to need a ton of troops. So I'll probably do this bloodletter, and then we'll do a crypt keeper so I can found another outpost. And that'll use up all of my logistics points. Which is actually not good because you need one extra to capture the shard. So that's unfortunate. So there's my lookout. I'm going to set him to auto-explore so he'll kind of go off and find stuff for me. Here's one of the quests. You could actually make your own, as I said, and then share them on the Steamworks shop. Little decision things, which basically just give you a different, bonus or whatever. Offer him a job. I got another unit. Medium. So right now my power is 21. That's 21. That's 15. That's 22. So I need more units before I go after those guys. And the problem is they initially start out fairly static and just kind of sit there, but then eventually they'll start trying to take your villages. Especially the little purple units up here that you'll find cropping out every once in a while, which are the Sorcerer King's units. You have to really keep an eye out for them. There's already an army that's trying to take my stuff. I am your friend. No, you're not really. Yeah, give me an administrator. Yeah, I'll take this thing out. I will show you a battle. So same turn-based battles as before. Just to kind of show you how it works. This will be an easy one, relatively speaking, to do. It bases who goes first on initiative ratings that each unit has. You can have your leader cast spells, which I'm not even going to really need. And again, it uses mana that you need for that spell. So each unit usually has special power. So I'm going to kind of just move him here. Alright. So I can have an arrow. Yeah, we'll just do that. There you go, you're dead. And he is... I'll just have him attack him. Should be able to get him in one shot, I would think. Oh, maybe not. Just one. This guy. Maybe. There we go. Maybe this archer back here is going to be annoying, I can already tell. He's trying to escape. Oh! This game, I swear. Alright, you got anything I can do? I resisted it. Of course it did. So it took my hero down, so that's awesome. With one arrow. Like, seriously. Like I said, the creeps in this game are, like, insanely powerful. Okay, so he's stunned. There we go. Too bad I lost my... unit. Oh no, that was the admin. Why was he with that unit? Okay, I was about to say, I thought that was my hero. No, I lost the admin, whatever. Alright, so I took care of that. That's what the turn-based battles are like. It's more interesting when you have more spells. Now, people level up. Your sovereign levels up. Get you more abilities. I will use that. And then this unit is idle. Where do I want to go? Yeah, just got these treasure chests. Here's my lookout. Stupid looters. Yeah, this is actually right on the outside of a thing. Alright, see if I can craft something. I can get leather gloves, that's about it. Yeah. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, thanks. We'll give it to... I'll give it to you. Yeah, well, I did it more than once, apparently. This is just annoying, this full screen pop-up about shards being attacked. It happens, like, all the time. It'd be better if it was just a little message in the bottom right, but whatever. There's a clay pit. So actually putting outpost, like, here would be great, which means I have to take down this army, which... I only have 22 strength and they're 21 strength. And the same thing with that, they're 22, so... Can't really do that. And I only have room for one more unit. Which the barracks is going to take a while. And then I'll have my bloodletter and then I can actually take that on. So really, you can't really be aggressive like you are, like you should be in most of these games in the beginning because you simply don't have the units to take on these guys. To start with. And even when I get that one more unit, I don't know if I'll really be able to take him out. Yeah, short attacked. And in the meantime, the Sorcerer King's getting more mad at you. And by the way, I'm playing almost exclusively from the cloth map. I think it's way easier to figure out where stuff is. You can zoom in and look at the pretty graphics, but honestly, I'd never play this way. It's harder to see stuff. Now over here, where you see these little icons, this is where you can actually found villages. So I could found another village over here, which if there was any resources around there, I'd probably consider doing, but there's absolutely nothing there, so I have zero desire to do that. I will try, although I don't think it's going to work. I'll put an outpost here, although I feel that it's not going to cap that clay pit. Which increases production, which is unfortunate. But so right now, I'm just looking around for treasure chests and weak ends. And yes, I know. All right, sovereign leveled up. We will do. What will we do? We'll do that. I'll get more logistics that way. That'll be perfect. City levels up. I can decide which way to expand. Typically, I pick whichever way gives me the most icons. So we'll do that. Or whichever expands in a direction of a shard I might get. Or like a location, like that. But I think I'm just going to cap that and they'll give me all those hammers that were over there. So that's pretty nifty. Alright, so here we're going over this quest. Where's the dungeon? Dungeon's over there. Deadly. Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that then. There's a metal mine. So that's another good place for an outpost. And actually I can freely do an outpost there too, because that's not within a boundary of one of these gatherings. Still haven't gotten anything interesting. A lot of chests. Which I guess is fine, because it just gives you stuff to do. I don't need your help, because stuff gets used here. We'll go this way. A little bit closer to that. What are you producing still? Oh, the bloodletter's got one more turn. Okay, good. So I actually need to send these guys back to the village. I got nothing. It's completely useless stuff. There's a clay pit. Alright, so let's go. There's Ice Citadel. A couple shards down that way. I'm probably going to end up expanding this way. There's a shard there. There's actually, I can put a village right here. That's actually a really good spot for a village. Right in there. So I believe I'm going to go over and pick this guy up. The bloodletter. And I need to get some, I need to put an outpost here, and then I need to put a city here. That's kind of what I want to do. So what are you doing in the city, by the way? What you do? getting my Crypt Keeper, so I will train a second one. And then I need to get heavy with units. I can do a work camp, but I actually need more units first. Most likely to offset all the losses I'm going to get here in a little bit. So that'll be for bone fragments, and then we'll do a work camp. Alright. So I'll kind of wait for my units to get back here. Long travel times without roads. Yeah, I'm sure there is. Okay, there's my Crypt Keeper. It's back in the village there. I will probably just... yeah, whatever. Cool. So we're just auto-resolve this. None of my units died, which is somewhat of a miracle. You gain a lot of experience and your stuff levels up when you do battles, but again, you really don't want to take on stuff that's even with your level. So I'm going to do that. I want the hit points. Alright, so what we got here? We do have the Crypt Keeper. Let me see how many units I can get. Alright, so let's go there. So I can do... that's not useful at all. Oh, because I selected everybody. Alright, well, let's go to this. Oh my gosh! What is going on? I don't even know what that was. That was insane. Alright. I want just the hero. Yes. Just you. Go out here. And I want to see how many units I can do. Okay, now just you. Go there. Alright. I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. Which I think is everybody. It is actually everybody. Okay, cool. Now, what's my rating? 33, and that's actually not terrible. Alright, so I'm going to do the following. I'm going to put an outpost. Shut up. Because I want this. Let me do this for the experience. Nobody died, which is good. And then I'd actually need the second Crypt Keeper. And I don't want to upgrade the outposts. To found a village right there is exactly where I want that. Now I'm going to have to take this thing out. But I want it right there because there's a horses and a shard right there. Alright, champion. I'll do that. Sovereign also leveled up. Yeah, we'll do that. Give me logistics. A lot more logistics. Look at this is like insane. Look at how many units there are around here. It's crazy how many there are. Crazy. Still want to go right there. There's one of his darklings. That's annoying. That's 20. I should be able to take that out. So I actually want everybody except... ugh. Seriously? Alright, everybody survived. I want everybody except for the Crypt Keeper to attack him. Okay. Survived but hurt. Okay, we'll take that out. And then I'll take him and I will settle that. Alright. So that is good. So champion levels up. Sure. That city is idle for obvious reasons, because, you know. I will do... I will do our usual garden, barracks, work camp thing, I think. No, I don't need anything. Usually it gets pretty mad when you start founding villages, for obvious reasons. Alright, there is a shard down here I'd like to cap. I think I'm just going to chillax. Yeah, we need breathing room. And then eventually I'll be able to find... There's some more shards down here, that's why I was going to head this way. And there's some more... places to find, basically where the Sorcerer King hangs out. Although you don't even need to take him head on. You just have to... Oh, speaking of... Spat. Cast a spell. So here goes the spell of ascendancy. So right now, I am losing 100 to 0. So let me cast this spell. There we go. So now I'm winning 56 to 44. And all you need to have is 75%. When that ticker reaches 500, then you win. That's basically it. So, I mean, that's the victory condition that they have. Oops, city level up. I really want to get that. Can I go... That won't let me do it. That will, though. Next time. Actually, I might... Let me do 3+ food to you. And I'm going to do 3 hammers for you. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, yeah, that's right, because it hasn't expanded yet. Oh, of course not. Who, me? Okay, good. So many creeps. And that's basically it. I mean, it's the same game as it was before. You know, really this different victory condition doesn't really change the game much. It just makes it so you're more conservative with your mana. And you more actively search out these mana shards. So, what are you doing? You're doing a warrior. Really need you to do another... Need another crypt keeper. I'll move that up the queue. And let's do another warrior after that. A lot of hit points. I have a lot of bone fragments too. Okay. Alright, so there's the Risen Warrior. I'm going to move him here. Hopefully he won't get attacked on the way with these ridiculous number of creeps here. Oh. Hope I don't lose that outpost. Oh. Jeez. So crazy how many there are. I told you to go over there. Oh wait, this has stuff. I totally forgot about that. Totally forgot. Alright, I do want this shard as soon as I get my guy. Sovereign level up. Give me... None of these are super awesome. So just do that. Can craft stuff using bones. Defense and cold resist. It's not really that great stuff that I have. Because I'm using all my bone stuff on my units. Well, what you really need to do is kill these camps. Then the creeps will stop spawning, but again, you need a ton of units to do it. Alright, let me try to get all these people. 13. 13. I can get a lot more. Because they're all relatively weak units. Alright, what do I want to do? I actually will need to get rid of that. Oh, there's my Crypt Keeper. Alright, go there, and I'm gonna come get you. And then I will escort you. So crazy. And I should probably go out and kill some of these things, because they're just going to keep spawning. Alright. Okay, Crypt Keeper's in, so we want to go basically here. Yeah, I'm sure. How much we got? 26. City's under attack. Don't care, because I'll win that. I have 37, so everybody except for the Crypt Keeper go. Lost. This is what I'm talking. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Basically, I lost everybody except for 2 people. On something that was supposedly even matched. If not better. So ridiculous. Alright, let's do an outpost. I do want that. I do want that. It's probably, well, horses aren't really useful for me. Being undead. But now, I have no units, so now I'm going to have to wait for my stuff to get rebuilt. So, now my attack rating is 23 and I can't kill anything. Because of one battle. This is kind of the main problem with Sorcerer King, is its early game balance is really terrible. You can lose your entire army in one early battle, and then that puts you behind for the rest of the game, and you can never catch up. And you don't even really get to the point where you need to worry about the Sorcerer King. Will just get killed by these creeps who'll come around and just take all your villages because you don't have enough units to defend, because you need to put them all in your main army to have a chance at killing anything. So, I mean, in that sense, the same problems from before are still here regarding, the early mid game balance there. So, I mean, that's basically it. The rest of the game is pretty much the same. You just got to save up your mana. The next time I do the Spell of Ascendancy, it's 83 mana. And basically, it's just a matter of saving up, making sure you don't wait too long, because we're already at 192 of 500. Before we get to the victory condition. So, really, the Rivals standalone expansion doesn't offer any significant gameplay enhancements. The one major thing it does is it just changes the victory condition. Instead of amassing a gigantic army, you save a bunch of mana, which really puts magic leaders at a disadvantage, because you're going to want to use that mana for other things. And it really puts your focus on capturing these mana shards in order to produce all that mana you'll need to cast the spell to make sure you're ahead in the race compared to the Sorcerer King. Other than that, you get to play as the undead or the dwarves in addition to humans, which is actually pretty fun. Both of them are fairly interesting and offer a little bit different gameplay. The undead is more attack, so you can get these bones in order to get undead armies. And the dwarves rely on cold, which other races don't like, which is an interesting little wrinkle. You can go in and edit the quests and share those on Steam, which is pretty nice, but that's basically it for the new features. Now, the game is half price if you own the original, but I don't really think that even at half price, this offers enough to really warrant going for Sorcerer King Rivals. Now, if you've never played Sorcerer King before, basically this is a more simplified version of Fallen Enchantress, and I think it is a decent, albeit not very well balanced in the early mid-game due to all the creeps that happen, but you can tone that down in the options menu. If you don't pick normal, you can put it on easy and kind of tweak it that way, which is probably what I would do if I were playing this for real instead of just kind of showing what normal is balanced at. So it definitely is more approachable than Fallen Enchantresses and all that nonsense. But I don't. If you have the original Sorcerer King, I don't see any reason to get Rivals. But if you haven't played Sorcerer King before, and you're looking for a more approachable 4X experience, then I think this would be the better place to start if you haven't played the original. That's all I have for today. Till next time, bye now.